Hello, everyone. I should just know that every time I come on live, my screen's going to have flipped. Thank you for joining me. It's William here at Allegory Gallery, and I hope you are all doing very well today. Thank you for joining me. If you're out there, please say hello and let me know where you're tuning in from and what you're up to today. I'd love to hear about it. Andrew came back last night, and he actually had to cancel his trip down to North Carolina because he is not feeling great. So we've decided that he's going to stay home and rest a little bit. So he is here. So if you want to send him some good energy out there, please do. He is doing okay, but he's feeling a little under the weather. And so we thought it best that he just stay home and kind of recuperate and rest. We didn't know what he'd be doing down there and how much he'd be getting into, how strenuous it would be. And so we just decided, well, he decided that it would be best for him to stay and rest. So he is technically home, but he is resting right now. So I don't know if he'll jump in on the comments at all or not, but he is not heading down to North Carolina, which is probably a good thing. Yeah, so just wanted to let everybody know he is home. He got home last night safely, and he has decided to pause for a moment and kind of recuperate and spend some time with me and the cats. And we've got some exciting things coming up in September, and it'll give him the chance to kind of rest up for those and kind of get ready for those. So that's that. And how's everybody doing out there? What are you all up to? My day has been pretty busy doing some errands today. We're up at the cottage a little bit earlier today, working on a few things. And I came back home to check on Andrew, and I'm doing the live here from the house. Trying to stick around a little bit in case he does need anything. He seems, like I said, he seems to be resting and doing okay. My mom is here. Hello, Mom. Says, considering how I just felt through whatever I had, it's probably best. It's a long way down and back. Yeah, driving down there and back is a long way. And not easy. I wasn't going to be able to go, so it would have been by himself again. And when you're feeling under the weather and just, even if it's just him feeling worn out, it is one of those things that it is, it's hard to make that drive by yourself. And, if he was having to take any type of cold medicine or anything like that, that stuff will kind of knock you out sometimes. So he's decided to stay home. Susan is here. Hello, Susan. Thank you for joining us. Suzanne is here. Hello, Suzanne. Sandra is here from Sweet Pea Gemstones. Hello, Sandra. My mom says it's going around. There's a lot going around, apparently. There's a lot going around. And a lot of people we know are coming down with sicknesses of some sort. So we've heard some from you out there. We've heard from our friends all around. There's a lot of things happening right now. Suzanne says, I got my flu vaccine today. That's good. Because you are often out with groups of people, especially for your teaching and the things that you do. So, and you're in close quarters with people. So it's probably for the best, right? Yeah, so that is that. I've pulled some lots today for you all. Hopefully you will like them. There's some things I forgot we even had. We're going to go over, I have some loose gemstones like we've been doing the last few days, but I also have some strands. I have some lampwork glass. I have some turquoise. I have, we're going to go over pewty spacers again for those of you who may have missed our pewty spacer show. Those are usually a pretty big hit. And we sell them at like $3 a tube. So hopefully you'll like those, or if you missed out on those, or if you need to restock on some of your pewties, we're going to have those for you. And these afternoon ones, I never know who's going to tune in or not. We've been getting larger numbers for our evening lives. Thank you all so much who are out there sharing and letting people know we exist. It's really helping. I think me putting the notifications up early in the week, or late last week for this week, has been helping as well. People kind of, when they come by our pages, they might see that we're doing these events more often, and kind of get to know when we're doing them. So I think that's part of it. Susan says allergies have been kicking me. So other than some laundry and bills, I've been resting too. The Hubs and I have been in our library music, listening to a plethora of sounds. Nice. It's good to take time to rest, right? My allergies, you can probably tell, are picking up a little bit as well. I've been a little bit lax on some of my allergy stuff, which I need to get back to. The homeopathic one I was taking, the last 2 days or so, I've forgotten to take it. And it's supposed to be something you keep in your system, that keeps you have to keep in your system. And so I got to get back to it because it was really helping me. I've kind of switched over. I got some, I think it's Allegra, fexofenadine, because I ran out of that. And I was starting to get a lot of hives. And some of my friends, there were multiple people who mentioned to me that fexofenadine, and I think the other one is Zyrtec. Those two are supposed to be some of the best for like the weird hives people can get. So I do have to say, I've been eating cleaner anyway, but also since I've been back on the fexofenadine, I have not gotten hives. I think Zyrtec is the one. I tried it at one point, and it gave me the most wild, like, dreams, like, and not great dreams. So I kind of have shied away from that one. It either gave me dreams or it didn't let me sleep well. And evening is when I get my hives the most. It's generally the only time I get them, but it's also one of the only times I actually eat during the day. So I decided to try the fexofenadine again, and it has been helping, I think. So I've been on a few other ones. I forget the other one that I just ran out of too. I can't remember what it is. My aunt stocked me up on it at one point, and I can't remember what the name of it is, but it might have been Zyrtec, but the generic, and if it was, then it doesn't bother me. But anyway, I usually take like the, not Allegra, but what's the other one? I can't think. Oh, it just flashed through my brain. Anyway, I don't know. We usually have a lot of different allergy pills in the house, but I have not had fexofenadine for a while. And so I've been taking that. Claritin is the other one. And I usually take that, and that works well for my hay fever. But my hay fever hasn't been too bad because I think of the homeopathic ones that I've been on. And so but like I said, the last 2 or 3 days, I've forgotten to take them. And I can tell, like, my eyes are starting to get more itchy. My throat is more congested. So I really need to get back on them and kind of make sure I'm taking them often again. That's what we sometimes do, right? Is we end up taking things and they work. And then we're like, oh, I don't need them because I'm fine. And then you realize it's because they work that I'm fine. So yeah, that is a whole thing. Susan said Hubs used to get hives during his early teaching career. Stress was his trigger. Glad he doesn't get hives anymore. Yeah, I think stress is part of my trigger too. I've been trying to stay calmer and not get too wild in my brain, which is not always easy for me. But I do realize generally it's once I get really stressed out and then I relax, that's when I get seems like the biggest bout of hives. That's also when I eat the worst. So that is a whole thing. Is it coming down off of the stress and kind of my body relaxing and then just like going into hives? Or is it because I'm eating junk because I was so stressed out and it's catching up to me? I don't know. Could be both. So I've been trying to eat better. Um, uh, some of our family members have been very generous in sending me Giant Eagle gift cards for our local Giant Eagle here. And I've been trying to eat more fresh veggies and cook more things from scratch instead of, when Andrew's away, sometimes I tend to get into really bad junk. And not junk, but like just stuff that is not super nutritious, like boxed mac and cheese, which I do love, but probably not the best foods. Although once in a while, I think it's okay because it's really good. But things like that and ramen and stuff. So I've been trying to cook more things from scratch. One of our friends also delivered some great vegetables and fruits to us at the shop. Left some stuff for us. So thank you out there if you're watching for that. I've been using those as well. I fried up some zucchini the other night. I might fry up some zucchini tonight because fried zucchini sounds delicious right now. So, and Andrew didn't get any the last time I made it. So I might fry up some zucchini again tonight. We'll see. Last night I made mini potatoes with eggs and peppers and mushrooms. And I think it came out really well. I was pleased with it. It hit the spot for sure. Susie's here. Hello, Susie. My mom says Zyrtec is what Luke needs to take for his hives. Yeah, I can't remember. You got me a bottle of stuff the one time, and I went through it too, and I can't remember. Is it Cetridine? Cetridine? Is that what Zyrtec is? I can never remember. I think it was the Cetrizine or whatever it's called, and because we got the generics, and that one seemed to help, and fexofenadine, which is Allegra, seems to help. So I switched over. I just got fexofenadine the other day, and I've been taking it. It's supposed to be a 24-hour pill, but I've been taking it day and night, and it has been keeping my allergies, my hives away, it seems like. It's supposed to be non-drowsy, but I do feel like I'm a little bit tired during the day from it, but it's all possible. Susie says, I got pneumonia shot last Thursday. I will get a flu shot at the end of October. That's good. I thought you were going to say I got pneumonia now. I was like, oh, I started reading that. I was like, please don't let her have pneumonia after she's going through a lot right now over there. So I'm glad it was just the shot. My mom says he seems to be outgrowing it to a degree, thankfully, but had hives for no known reason since birth. Yeah, that's terrible. It's my little nephew, my youngest nephew. So, yeah, that's not good. Okay, Zyrtec is Cetrizine. Okay, so I can take Zyrtec. I didn't realize that was Zyrtec, so I guess it doesn't bother me too much because that one I was taking quite a bit of. And it does seem to keep the hives away as well. So that's good to know because I thought Zyrtec was the one that gave me. Wonder which one did used to give me weird dreams. Now I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I got over that because I needed to. Who knows? Yeah. So that's what I've been trying to do is ward away the hives. I was getting hives almost every single night for like almost 2 weeks. And that's unusual for me. Normally I don't get them that often. And sometimes, normally my top lip will blow up. At one point, both of my lips started getting really like kind of hard and blowing up. And so something had to be done. And so thankfully y'all mentioned the fexofenadine again, because I actually forgot I used to take that and it used to help. And so that has been helping. And since then, I've been kind of hive free, which is nice, because it was starting to get to me. Like when something like that happens to you that often, it starts to kind of eat away at your brain, right? It starts to make you feel like you're never going to come out of it. And I started to feel that way. I was like, this is just happening all of the time. And that, in addition to some headaches I was having, was pushing me over the edge. I was starting to get very stressed out about everything. And thankfully, that has kind of chilled out between family helping with the fresh food, and friends helping with that, and me being able to cook a little bit more and making more time for myself to do that, and taking the pills that seem to work right now for me. It's been better. Vicky says, hello everyone. I'm popping in for a few minutes, was going to get lunch, but construction has me blocked in. Oh no. Well, I'm glad you can spend time with us. I'm sorry it's taking you away from your lunch though. Andrew and I have not had lunch yet. We were going to make something for lunch, and then I realized what time it was. I was running very, not behind, but just in days of what time it was, I guess. Like I was blind to what time it was throughout the day here. The day's been kind of a blur. So, yeah, we didn't get any lunch yet. What's everyone had for lunch so far? What are y'all having? It is? It's 3:00. What did y'all have for lunch? Hello, Kimberly. Hello, Danette. Thank y'all for joining us. Getting here just for the food talk, right? We have some eggs, and so I'll probably make some quick eggs maybe for lunch. It's always a good little meal. Kimberly's reheating those chicken and dumplings. Nice. It's good to have leftovers. I made a bunch of food last night, and Andrew wasn't feeling very hungry, but I made him a big plate of food anyway, just in case, and he ended up eating it. So I thought I would have leftovers because he was like, I am not hungry. I don't really want to eat. But then he ended up eating, which I think is a good thing, hopefully, for him feeling better. And so we don't have leftovers. So I'm going to have to make something up. Might make some fried potatoes and eggs again. That was pretty good. Kind of craving it again, but we'll see. We'll see. I also have to get to my pottery class, so I may not have time in between now and then to do that. We'll see how things go and what time we end with this live, how long I do the talk. My mom had freshly picked tomato sandwich with cheese. Ooh. My mom had run me over some groceries at one point, and we rarely actually have bread in the house, which is strange, but it's true. And she got us some bread and got some tomatoes and mayo, and I was making tomato, mayo, and cheese sandwiches. And I forgot how good a simple sandwich like that can really be. It was actually really, really, really good. And I would have them for lunch, and then I would get corn from the local farmers market, the Amish market, and I'd make them corn on the cob with a tomato sandwich for dinner, and that was really good too. Nice fresh produce. Sandra had mango vanilla protein smoothie. Nice. That sounds really good. That's the thing I've not had in a long time, is a smoothie. We have, well, I think a lot of our blenders actually got repurposed for paper making pulp. So I don't actually know if we have a blender that's for food at the moment. And that might be why. But yeah, I don't think about blending up smoothies, and probably should do that more often, because especially here in the summer, it would be really good. And it said fried potatoes, yum. Yeah, I was doing air fried potatoes. I find that I like those a lot, and it's less messy than getting out the oil and frying all the potatoes. But tonight I might get out the oil and fry up the zucchini. So we'll see if maybe I'll fry up some potatoes too. Well, zucchini and potatoes. I could just, and the one night I did just eat fried zucchini. I could eat just fried zucchini for lunch or dinner. I love it. Just make a lot of it. I think I have 2 zucchinis left, so I could make a good bit of it. Danette had 2 hot dogs and watermelon for lunch. Last evening, Dave and I went to the Westmoreland County Fair. It was a nice, relaxing break. Oh, the fair's on. I forgot that was happening. I'd like to go down and see the fair at some point, maybe, if I get time. Danette says, how do you make air-fried potatoes? I cut up the little potatoes into usually into quarters, so they're smaller. And then I put them in I put them in oil. Like I douse them in oil. I put on like salt, cayenne, garlic powder, onion powder, and pepper. Usually that's my combination of spices. We also have a mushroom umami Italian blend that Andrew got from one of from the co-op we're in, and so he got some of that, and it's really good too. So I usually put that on there, and then I shake them all up, right? Get them all nice and coated, put them in the air fryer, 400 degrees for 15 minutes. And then because I like mine usually extra, not so much crunchy, but I like them chewy. I've talked about this a little bit. I like them a little bit chewy, and a little bit crunchy on the outside. So then I shake them up after 15 minutes and put them in at 400 for about another 10 minutes. And they seem to come out just the way I like them that way. And so, yeah, that's it. That's all I have to do. Doesn't take very long. Air fryer takes care of most of the work. I've also done larger potatoes like that. You can do the big potatoes. I just get those little small ones because I like all the different flavors. So I get the pack that has the little yellow ones, the little white ones, and the little purple ones. And yellow, white, red, and purple. So there's like 3 or 4 different kinds of potatoes in there. Cut them up into quarters, put them in the air fryer, 400 degrees for 15 minutes, and then 400 degrees for another 10 around there. And it makes them a little bit, like I like my potatoes a little dehydrated, a little chewy like that. And it also gives them, some of them, a nice little almost crusty around them, which is pretty good. So that's how I make those. So I might make, I have like half a bag of those tonight still. I might make those tonight and some fried zucchini. And that could be a pretty good meal, maybe. Danette says, sounds yummy. My mom says, boy, that sounds good. Yes, it was good. It was good. All right, I'm not going to spend too much time talking today because I do have to get through this before I have to go to my pottery class. And if Andrew's hungry, I'm going to try and make up some lunch for us before I go. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to get started. If there's anybody new out there who does not know how to claim, I'm going to put up the banner. I'm not going to go over everything, but if you are new and you'd like to know how to claim, let me know if you have any confused questions. But it is scrolling down here on how to do that. Please also make sure you like and share, and make sure you follow us everywhere. Let's get those numbers up. We hit, what did we hit the other day? We hit 2,400 subscribers on YouTube the other day. So that was great to see. We crossed the 2,400 mark. So thank you all for sharing, getting our name out there. We really appreciate that. And we'd like to keep going. We're at 2,417 right now. So we'd like to keep that up. I've got notifications that we've had a few new members joining us on Facebook as well over the past few weeks. So thank you all if you've joined us out there on Facebook. And don't forget, we have the Allegory Gallery Design Challenges group on Facebook as well. So you can join that group. There's about 1,400 members in that group. And some of y'all are very active, and we appreciate all those who are active in that group and help keep that group going. It really is a great thing. If you'd like to show support for us in other ways, we just recently had a few people join our Patreon, and that helps us keep things going. Our Patreon helps support things over at Star Cottage Studio if we need new tools or simple things like light bulbs, or right now we're saving up for a new weed whacker because our weed eater died. That all helps. So you can join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Allegory Gallery, and that's where you can pledge to support us with a monthly subscription. And Andrew usually throws up behind the scene things up there. We'll throw up a few things every once in a while for people who are members there as well. So that's patreon.com/Allegory Gallery, and you can join us there. And I think members start there at, I think, $1 or $2 up to $3, $4, or $10. I forget. But there's multiple levels you can join, and we appreciate each and every one of them, and we appreciate all of the support. It's people who are doing this and helping us get the word out, people who are on our Patreon especially, who allow us to do more tutorials and kind of experiment in the studio, because you help us get studio supplies and things like that. So when Andrew needs new drill bits or new metal or replacement things in the studio to create new things, or to like right now he's trying to save up for some argon for the little welder, and so it's that kind of thing that y'all help with from the Patreon there. And so when we do new experiments and Andrew has the time and resources to actually experiment, it's a lot of times because of our Patreon members. And when we do a tutorial or we do a filming, I've talked with Jen about filming again. Her kids are going back to school. And so I've been talking with her. She'll be bus driving, but she's also interested in possibly doing more. She's trying, though, her car broke down, so she has to save up for a new car right now. So she's working on that, and doesn't really have as much transportation right now. But when we are able to do things like that, helping to, give Jen a little bit of filming money and all that good stuff, that helps from the Patreon. So we do appreciate it so much, and you can join that, like I said, for very little every month if you'd like to, or you can pick one of the higher tiers and join for more. And all of that really does help us. And we appreciate it. Hello, Lennis. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. Hello, Marianne. Thank you for joining us today, too. All right. So I'm going to flip the camera around, and we're going to get started. Today. First, though, I have a group of things that some of y'all have been posting a lot in the Design Challenges group, and I wanted to call out some of these things because some of y'all have been making some really fun stuff. So before we get going too much, I wanted to talk about some of these things. This is a really cool piece that Harry made using some tube beads, but also that little body. That's a shell that we had on a live show. And I thought this was a super cool way to implement that. And it looks so realistic, right? Like it looks like that's the body of a spider. So I thought that was really cool. Sandra showed this off. This is some black spinel bracelet, magnetic bracelet that she made during the Creative Make-Along last time. And I wanted to bring this up because it's really pretty, and also because we are having a Creative Make-Along this Friday. So for those of you who don't know, we get together on Zoom on the next to last Friday of every month, and we hang out and we make stuff together on Zoom. It's all up to you what you want to make. We're not making a certain project together. We've never done that, which might be a fun thing, but It's not project based necessarily. It's whatever you want to create and hang out with us. It's a chance to kind of finish up maybe some works in progress, um, some things that you haven't gotten to for a while. You want to kind of clean up and get things together. So that's a chance to do it and hang out with friends while you're doing it. So the Creative Make Along will be this Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We hope you'll join us. It is on Zoom. The link is in our blog post about the Creative Make Along. The old link, if you have that floating around, is the same as the new link. We don't change the link on that. So if you have the link from before, you still have the link. If you don't have the link from before, I'll be sending out an email maybe later today or tomorrow with the link in it. My mom says, wow, that's pretty. Diane has joined us. Hello, Diane. Susan says, Harry does awesome work. I know. I love his work. Susan says, Sandra, that's a very classy bracelet, right? It really is. Nice look. Terry says, love your creations. And then we have this from our friend Susan, Surreal. Made these beautiful pair of earrings using some of the beads she got from us on the live shows. I thought these were really, really pretty. I love those little red beads at the bottom, those little wavy discs, and I think it looks really great. And then our friend Anne did a kind of simple thing. She took these Molly wedding beads that we had, and they were temporarily strung up at one point, and when we sold them, and she grabbed them and she just restrung them and made them into a beautiful bracelet or a necklace that she can wear. Sometimes all you need to do with the beads is restring them, right? Sometimes they're great as they are. And I really love that she just kept this kind of the way it was and just made it, more solid and more usable that way. And here's another pair of earrings from Susan that I really loved with this, I believe it's chalcedony. And I don't know if those are Invisity charms. They kind of look like it, but I might be wrong on that up above. But I really loved how these look. I do love a pink, and I think these came out really great with that kind of antique silver look too. So good job, Susan. And here we have our friend Susan Siegel's Mookie. Her order was delayed. I had shipped her order out, and it took a little vacation through her state for a while. And the order finally arrived, and this is Mookie deciding what Mookie wants to do for the Creative Make-Along this Friday. So I thought that was so cute. And hopefully Mookie will be able to join us for the Creative Make-Along on Zoom on Friday. But lots of nice things to work with there, and we thank everyone who purchases from us and supports us. It's always great to see once you get your stuff, unboxings and pictures of the things you've gotten. It also helps us with publicity. It's a free publicity for us that allows us to be seen by people, and they might be like, ooh, look at those beads. Now I know where I might be able to get things like that. And then this one is one that I actually made with a friend in store. And Susie joined us. Hello, Susie. Sandra says, I love those earrings, Susan. Says, wow, those earrings are great, says my mom. And Susan says, no, those are charms from a vendor that I've been getting stuff from over many years. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Someone had one of Andrew's pendants. They had picked up this pendant in the store or on a live, I can't remember. And they wanted to do something with it for a friend who's lost a loved one. So we took kind of inspiration from the pendant, and she walked around the store and searched around the store to see what was, what kind of what she felt matched her friend, and kind of the mood, and she wanted it to be a more, it was a very sad thing that happened, so she wanted to give some hope, and so we used these kind of African glass little floral spacers in between and some brighter colors. And I hope that her friend enjoys it and it gives some comfort. But she was really happy with how it turned out in the end. Let's see here. Lena says it also helps keep the group active, so it's great when people post and comment on posts. Yes, that's why I wanted to pull some of these, because some of y'all who I'm sharing here are some of the most active people as far as sharing things in the group, and I wanted to point things out so everybody gets a chance, hopefully, to see these, and more people will realize that it's nice to post in the group and that people are friendly in our group. And this is from Suzanne. I think Suzanne just posted this today. This is a multi-moonstone necklace with one of Andrew's special, very few of a kind enamel pendants in this setting that he made. He made these long kind of prong set enamel pendants, and he only made a few of these. And Suzanne was nice enough to grab one of them, and I think it looks really, really. I would not honestly have ever thought to pair this with the multi-moonstone like this, but it looks really, really good. So good job, Suzanne. And another one from Suzanne is this one. I love this set. It's just a fun set, very colorful. I love that little rabbit. That's one of our vintage deals during our very vintage shows, I believe, and I just think it's so cute. We have a lot of rabbits right now in our yards, so between the house here and the cottage, we have a lot of rabbits jumping around, mostly here at the house, actually. I see fewer at the cottage, which I would think I'd see more, but we have a number of little bunnies. I think there were 3 or 4 of them out there the other day jumping around. And that's kind of, I love the little rabbits. And then those conglomerate stones for the earrings, they look big, but I know those stones are nice and light. So that's great. Thank you all for sharing. My mom says that one is upbeat for a sad situation. Yeah, we tried to, bring some light in. It's hard, but it's a very hard situation. I won't go into it because this is a gift and it's not my business, but yeah, it was hard. Diane says, I'm picture challenged posting from my phone. We want to see pictures, Diane. Throw them out there. If you need help, I'm a techie. I can probably help you if you need help trying to figure out how to do all that. But we love seeing the pictures. Susan says, love this, Suzanne. Beautiful combination of the moonstones and pendants. The bunny set and earrings are awesome. I think so too. Everybody did a great job. All right. So there's what I wanted to show off some of y'all a little bit. I like to do that every once in a while when I get a little grouping of things. But for all of you who are posting in the Design Challenges group, even if I didn't give you a shout out this time, thank you all so much for keeping that group going and making it such a welcome space for so many people. I know that we have a lot of people who don't comment in there, and I wish more and more people would. And I think the more people see that they shouldn't be afraid to post, the more people will start to kind of hopefully interact and post that way. So hopefully we'll get more and more people doing that. Student says, I was told if critters hang out in your yard, it shows you have a healthy ecosystem. Yeah, I think, we don't spray our grass or our weeds. We have a lot of wildflowers, like native things or semi-native things, or what are kind of assumed to be native things nowadays in our flower beds. We often let our grass grow a little bit higher. Maybe, I don't know, our neighbors around us also sometimes, some of them do the same thing, but I like the grass to grow a little bit. So we often get a little bit more like patches of clover and stuff in our yards for the bunnies. and generally there's a lot of types of little insects, especially even at the cottage, because that even gets to grow a little bit more. And there are a plethora of different kinds of insects and things. When I mow the cottage, there's tons of stuff, grasshoppers and locusts and cicadas and katydids and spiders. And I see all these things running around when I mow. And so I know that there are things for like birds to eat and bats to eat, and there's lots of clover and various flowers and things that the bunnies can nibble on. So we do try to keep things, with no herbicides and nothing like that as much as we possibly can. Because we also have cats, and the cats go out, and we don't want them eating things that have been sprayed down. Marion says pictures from phones are really easy. Yeah, generally they are. Generally, it's easiest to post a picture from your phone, right? Marion says we have rabbits and grouse plus other birds. Nice. Dennis says you might have foxes or coyotes at the cottage limiting the bunnies, possibly around that area. I have never seen really a lot of that kind of stuff around, but it is very possible because there's a lot of woodland around that area. It's also by a highway, so the highway, I think, also limits some of that activity as well. My mom says, haven't seen bats around here for such a long time, but saw 2 the other evening and was so happy. I was just talking about that. I saw some bats here at the house one night, and also some at the cottage the one night. And it was so nice to see the bats coming back. I know some people don't like them, but I think they do tell you when your ecosystem is healthier. And also they were kind of held back by that white nose disease that they were getting, or a fungus. I think it was a fungus of some sort, and it killed out a lot of the bat population. So I'm glad to see them starting to hopefully make a rebound and start to come back. Another bird I've been seeing a lot more of is a killdeer. We used to have a killdeer population growing up that would always nest in our driveway when I was a kid. And I don't know if you know killdeer. They're very kind of thin birds, and they run. They're not so much, I mean, they do fly, but they run around a lot, and they try to, like, the mamas will distract you from the nest. They will run away from the nest to try to get you to chase them when they have babies sitting on the nest. They're a really cool bird. I love them. They sound to me like a seagull when they make their calls. So every once in a while I'll hear, I'm like, how do we have seagulls around here? And it's the killdeer. And I really like them, and I've been seeing a lot more of them around here recently, and hearing them more now around here too. Susan says, I couldn't care less about having a perfectly manicured lawn. Yeah, I'm not into that either. I don't like it to get too wild, because then you don't want the neighbors getting upset, but and you do want to be able to walk through it and not feel like you're going to get too many ticks and stuff like that. But we do let our lawn tend to grow a little bit more, and it helps the wildlife. The bunnies are always in our lawn, and the grass is a little bit higher, so they don't hide in it. It's not that high, but they kind of crouch down in it, and they can kind of feel a little safer, and they get the longer grasses, and sometimes the clover and stuff like that. And yeah, Marianne likes bats. Me too. Suzanne says we have fruit bats under the house. Ooh, I don't know if that's good or not, to have them under the house. I guess as long as they don't get too wild under there, right? I'd love to put up some bat boxes at the cottage to see if we get more bats. Sue says I do too, Marianne, as long as they stay outdoors, right? Don't want them in. My mom says, yeah, the killdeer, they act like they are hurt, so predators go after them instead of the babies. Yeah, they'll kind of like limp around and act like they can't fly, or they have a bad wing, so that they'll kind of run the predators from the nests. They're really smart, I think, that way. Marion says, you don't have seagulls? We do, and we are a long way from the ocean. No, we do not, as far as I know. But the killdeer sound like it to me. They make that kind of shrieking call, and so I've learned now kind of to recognize that, and I know I'm like, oh, these are killdeer. Suzanne says they're quiet and eat the mosquitoes. The bats, that's good. That's good that they're quiet. They're not overtaking. But yes, bats eat a lot of mosquitoes. And that is why I am very happy for the bats to be around. When I see bats and I see possums, I am very happy to see both of them, because the bats eat all the mosquitoes and the possums eat the ticks. And so I let them go in peace when I see them and wish them well. I also just think bats are cool creatures. So yeah. All right. Let's get started with the live today. These are going to be VRS lots. VRS. I picked some letters I know I've not used before. They don't really stand for anything. I had VHS in my mind at one point and VCR in my mind at one point. So VRS is what came out of that. And I have 30 to 40 lots for you today. We'll see what we get through before I have to run to my pottery class. I can't wait to go to my pottery class, because my teacher said that my little things that I just made came out super cool, and I'm going to love them. And I'm excited now to see them. I was hesitant before, but now I'm excited to see them. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to being able to show you all my new things, because if there's something you all like, I may keep making more and more of them. So we'll see. Okay, what do I got here? I'm going to start off with these beautiful strands of apatite, mixed apatite. These were, let me see, where's my tags? These were 60, and I am going to bring them down real low for you. Special. I think I have 2 of these left. $40. That is an extra special deal. Very nice apatite. This is a mixed strand. So there are like 3 different kinds. You get the light blue, you get the neon, and you get the green apatite. Rondelles, they are graduated smooth rondelles. So they graduate from about 4 millimeters up to about 4 to 6 millimeters. And VRS1, that is only $40 a strand. Only $40 a strand. All right. And if you sent any emails to me today, I have been off of email, so I will get to them. I see a few people have sent me some emails today from yesterday's show. So if I didn't get to them, sorry, I haven't gotten to them yet. I'll work on that stuff tonight after my pottery class when I get back to probably do the invoicing for this one. Sue says, do show us your new pottery, William. I'm excited to show it. I don't know if you saw, let me see. I can do a quick, I don't think I have them here. Let me see if this will let me, if I can find them quickly here. Maybe. One moment. Let's see if this lets me do it while I'm live. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. So I made these little dishes. I made these by hand. They're hand built. They're not on the wheel. And I decorated them each in a different way with my little decorating technique that I've been using. And then I glazed over them in specific ways to see how the glaze would work. I used at least 2 different glazes on each one to see how the glazes would overlap and work with each other. And so my teacher said they came out super cool. So I'm hoping all the glazes I used are generally transparent. And so I wanted the design to show through, but I also wanted the various colors of glaze to show through each other. And I documented these so that I know which glazes I used together. And I'm excited to see how they came out. So we'll see. I did these little pinchy edges on them, which I kind of really liked too. So that is what I'm going in to see today and see how they came out. All right. VRS2. All right, this is a really cool piece. This is a green turquoise pendant. It's drilled through the top all the way through. And we have this, I'm going to do this at 22. I discussed this one with Andrew beforehand to help him get me prices on this. VRS2, $22. And it's a really pretty piece, a really pretty pendant in green turquoise. And it's about 20, we'll say 30 millimeters by about 41. 30 by 41 or 40 and a half. And thickness wise, it's about 8.5, but it does taper down to about almost 3, somewhere in there. So I think it's a really nice piece, beautiful piece of turquoise. And it's this beautiful green color. So one of these only available, VRS2. Pretty unique piece. I believe that's a vintage piece as well, which is nice. The hole in this is about 2.5 millimeters. Very autumnal, says Marianne, right? I'm into this autumn thing right now, in case you can't tell. And you probably will be able to tell from some of my picks for sure, because I think they're coming out more autumnal than even I thought they were. VRS3. This was a $14 strand. I think I only have one left. I'm going to bring it down to 10 for this last one for y'all. VRS3. And this, I believe, is a bamboo beads. And you get the whole strand. These are bamboo tubes. They're approximately about 8 millimeters by 31. And they're super duper light. Super light. And just really pretty color. Love those. One strand left only of those. $10 if somebody wants it. Do the low price of $10 on that. VRS4. This we had 24 on it. I'm going to bring it down. Let's bring it all the way down to $20. This is very inexpensive now for this. 24 was our low price before, but this is now lampwork glass. Beautiful. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these beads, plus the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rondelles for $20 only. That's very inexpensive. And they are really beautiful lampwork glass beads. Beautiful colors. I love the design work in these. I love that kind of opalescence, that little purple opalescence they've got going on in there. Really pretty strand. These are approximately 19.5 for the larger ones, and the smaller rondelles are about 8.5 millimeters. One strand available, only $20, which is a steal. And let's see here. VRS5. Let's see. These are some hollow blown glass beads, and we had these at $16 each. I'll drop that to $14 each, but I shouldn't do that really. These are very well done. These are generally pretty expensive. I'm trying to remember the gentleman's name who makes these. I want to say it's Koenig. I could be wrong. But they are a famous glass maker, and he does these sometimes very large hollow glass beads. And I've got 2 of these. Is it Harold Cooney? That's probably right, Marianne. Is he known for that? Because I had Harry Koenig in my brain. So Harold Cooney, if that's a person, then that's right. And so these are only $14 each. They are approximately 18 millimeters. I think this one's a tad bit bigger, 19.5. Just a little bit bigger. Hollow blown glass, very autumnal. Would work really well with things like this. And because they are hollow, it helps keep them lighter too. Could also be fun with the turquoise. Let's see, VRS4 has sold out. Thank you so much. Going to grab that back and take that off of here. Normally Andrew reminds me of people's names for stuff like this, but he's not here today. I mean, he's here, but he's not feeling good. VRS6. And my headache is back today as well, which is not fun at all. I slept in a little bit today, even because I woke up with a headache. I don't know. I've just been a little stressed. I think that's what it is more than anything. Stress will get to you. But luckily, my mom dropped me off some lotions and things, and some of y'all suggested some ointments and stuff that I have gotten to and am trying. Oops, that's not right. VRS6. These were 14. I'm going to bring them down to 10. I've got 2 strands of these. These are glass pearls, large glass pearls. They're really pretty. These are 12 millimeter glass pearls, vintage, and only $10 a strand. I think this is a 16-inch strand. Let me check. Pretty sure though. Might be longer. Yeah, it's at least a 16-inch strand on there. And so vintage glass pearls was 14 for the strand. Now only 10, 2 strands available. All right. Let's see here. We've just sold one of those. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm just going through my junk to make sure I don't have any junk mail going on here. Okay. All right, so we just sold one of the 6s. We still have one of those available. Student says it's ragweed season, which very yucky. It is. I don't like the ragweed. That is, of all the, I did the prick tests for like 60 different things for my allergies, and ragweed was the only thing that made me swell up. And I'm like, yep, I know, it's the ragweed. And of course we keep natural weeds, which are flowers, but weeds in our flower beds too, which probably doesn't help me. But there's always like goldenrod and Queen Anne's lace and some of that kind of stuff in there, which probably is not the best for my allergies, but I grew up with it. We were surrounded by fields around us, and so the ironweed and the Queen Anne's lace and all that kind of stuff is brings back my childhood, and it reminds me of that, and I like to still have them around. But I also developed severe allergies when I was young too. So nostalgia versus breathing. Sometimes you have to choose breathing, but it is what it is, right? All right, these are beautiful. Let's see, we had these at 15 each. I'm going to strike them down to do a special deal at $10 each for you all. I have 6 of them. These are micro-faceted.
I can show them if you ask
no,
from your iPhone.
I don't know what she's talking about. She's just going to start talking to me. These are a yellow agate. Yellow agate, micro-faceted. Really pretty. Talk about like goldenrod going into the fall here. These are it's kind of a yellow fall, like a darker yellow color, which if you have some of those motifs going on in your work, these would be really nice with that. And these are 3 millimeter micro-faceted rounds, and only $10 a strand. I've got 6 strands of them here, if you're interested in those. Oh, we sold the other 6. So thank you so much. I'm going to put that away. Both of those are now sold. Thank you. My tag doesn't want to sit the right way. I have this gigantic bag for these. Literally, this bag could hold like 50 of those strands, but that's apparently the bag I had for them at one point, so that's the bag they stay in. VRS8. Let's see here. What else is next? This is a really cool strand, and I feel fortunate to be able to offer this. I'm going to price it $24, and I think that's a really good price for it. This is an entire strand of bone spacer beads, or just bone heishis, whatever you want to call them. But this strand, look how long it is. This strand is a whole strand. You get all of them. You get every one of these. If you work a lot in bone or antler or wood, these are a great spacer bead to have in your supplies, because there's a bunch of them here. They are all hand carved bone. They're approximately 5 millimeters, and they do vary in length, but generally, let's see, this one is, for example, 3.5 millimeters. We don't get entire strands of stuff like this. Like sometimes we'll get necklaces that have some of these in them, but to have a whole strand of just bone spacers, this is approximately 42 inches. It's about a 42-inch strand of bone spacers, and that'll last you quite a long time, right? Quite a long time if you work in bone and stuff. Even if you don't, even if you just want to add, like, they're super duper light. These almost feel like nothing. So that's $24, VRS 8. Only one of those available. I don't know if we'll ever see something like that again, because we usually, like I said, usually the bone stuff comes in larger sizes, and they don't bother selling the spacers individually like that. So this is kind of a unique strand, I think. And we had to, of course, grab it up when we saw it, because we know that some of y'all out there like that kind of thing. And then speaking of bone, we've got these two necklaces, and they are already put together, but I would restring them if I were you. Let me see if these ones, okay, sometimes they have, I don't think these ones are ones with any type of toggle. These are just over the head. And we had 24 on these. I'm going to drop them down to, let's do 18. What the heck? That's a really good price. $18. VRS 9. Marianne says, nice color on those bone spacers. I think so too, right? They're not bleached out completely, which makes them, I think, really nice to work with. Like, even like, I think with the yellow, they would look really good. With carnelian, they would look beautiful. They look great. Like, kind of, like, look how nice those go together too. So you can play around with them and really get some, they're a very useful color in those spacers. And then these ones, these are more bleached for the most part. These are bone beads, little bone rounds, as well as hand carved tubes and some larger rounds. And then every so often on here, there's like, I think this is a wood or a coconut right there. And there's some glass on there. So these are a little bit mixed strands, but mostly all carved bone. And these strands, let's see, these are about 40-inch strands as well. So there are those, and we'll make those $18 if you're interested in those. VRS 9. And okay, nobody wants the green turquoise. I was surprised. I thought somebody would jump on that one. The green turquoise, VRS 2. Surprising me. Usually y'all love the turquoise. Turquoise is, you know, it's a little expensive sometimes, and it can be, these larger pieces can be a little bit heavy, so I get that. Although that one is not very heavy, I will say. And let's see, let's put this one away. This is the bamboo. One of those available, only $10. Make some room here for some other things. Move these down. Move these down. What's next? What do I got in here? These are fun. We haven't shown these in a while. I think we only ever showed them once. These are sets of bangles. So for those of you who like bangles, this is a multicolor set with some copper color, silver color, and gold color. These are vintage bangles. This set, you can see they kind of flatten out and go a little wider on the two edges and then round out here on the other two. And those were 15. We did them for before. I'm going to make them 10 today. If you're interested in those, that's the whole set of them. $10 for the set. I have another set of these bangles. These ones actually separate. So these ones are together. Like they are hooked together, they're not coming apart. But I also have these ones. Let's see here. Put this over here. VRS 11, and these were 18. I will drop them down to 12. Oh, 10 has sold. Thank you so much. I'm just going to take those away right now so it doesn't confuse anybody. Thank you, thank you. VRS 11 are these ones. So you get this one, which has some little fun charmies on it. They're like kind of fake miniature coins. So you get that one, and then you get these other 4. So you get all of those, $12 on that batch. And then one more of these VRS 12. This is another one that was 15, and I'll bring down to 10. And this set is a set of the copper, silver, and gold colored ones. But this time, instead of being kind of smushed, they're kind of twisted. They have like that curve to them. And so those, I can't fit them on me. They're too small for me. Most bangles are, because I have bigger hands. But that's it. They don't come apart. They are permanently joined together. And that's VRS 12, $10. All right. Let me put away these Harold Cooney beads. $14 each only, down from 16. 2 of those available. And I'm also going to put away the yellow agate, beautiful yellow agate beads, VRS 7. Nice fall yellows if you're looking for fall colors going into scarecrow season, right? It always reminds me of hay from scarecrows. That's what I think of when I think of that yellow. I guess scarecrows probably are way out there already because they're manning the fields now, right? Let's see here. We've got the bone and the other sets of bangles. RS 13. All right, VRS 13 is this beautiful grouping of vintage check glass. These are a table cut vintage check, kind of a 3-sided table cut bead where they cut away to reveal the inner glass. So they coat it with the coating on the outside, that kind of coppery metallic on the outside, or bronzy metallic, and then they cut into the glass with table cut technique, and it reveals the green underneath. So these are really pretty, great again going into fall with these deeper colors, and you get the whole lot of them, which is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, I think 13 beads for $4. And those beads are approximately 8.5 millimeters. VRS 13. All right. I've got these. I'm going to drop the price real low on these, see if anybody wants to grab these. VRS 14, $18 only. This is a very nice vintage black onyx drop, faceted drop strand. Beautiful black onyx, faceted drops. These are vintage. We have them at 26 for the strand. They are a very nice quality. And I'm bringing them down to 18 for y'all. 2 strands only of these left. 16 millimeters by 12 millimeters. And these are, let me stretch this out, 16-inch strands, at least 16-inch strands. VRS 14. Good deal on some really pretty drops. You can make 1 pair of earrings and sell it for $18. That's a easy sell right there. Should be anyway. All right, VRS 8 I'm going to put away. That's the bone spacer beads. I'm so surprised these have not sold. I'm really surprised. But that's the way the cookie crumbles some days, right? VRS 9, I'm also going to put those away. That's the bone necklace and carved bone. $18 only on those. About 40 to 42 inch strands on those last two. And we'll move these down, get those shown a little bit longer in case anybody wants the bangles. VRS 15. Let's see. We have some beautiful, we have two little turquoise chunks, and they are beads. They are drilled through, and they're really, really pretty. I'm going to do them at $12 each. Two of them available. Really nice quality blue turquoise. These would make gorgeous pendants. And there's a longer one and a slightly squattier one. Beautiful blue. Look at that color. Beautiful blue turquoise nuggets. Vintage, nice quality. $12 each. VRS 15. Two of them available. Oh, we just sold 13. Thank you so much. That's the check glass, the vintage check. I appreciate that. And take that off the table. Okay. Let's move this down a little bit. VRS 16. This is a really pretty strand, and I'm going to give you a really good deal on it. I was going to do 32, but I'm rounding it down to 30. We just sold both of the 15s. Thank you so much. This is blue chalcedony. Let me move the 15s out of here. Appreciate that. This is a really pretty, this is my kind of blue chalcedony right here. These are these nuggets, but they have some of the matrix in them, like this. And I love when they do this. I love when they don't cut that all away and they leave some of that rough in with these. These are really wonderful slabs, faceted blue chalcedony. Anybody need that for the next Mercury retrograde? Really pretty, nice light color. Good blues on that. Oh, Danette's leaving. Says, I'm going to take off for today. Have a great rest of the day. You too, Danette. Have a great one. Beautiful blue chalcedony strands. This is a vintage strand. It is a 16-inch strand. And let me just pick, I don't know, they're all different shapes and sizes. I'm going to pick this one. It's about 24.7 by 28.5. And thickness wise, about 6 to 6.5. One strand only of that was 48. I was going to make it 32, but I'm doing it down all the way down to 30 for you. It's a really excellent quality strand. Nice blue chalcedony. One strand available. Let me put away 11. Those are those bangles. These are the only separated group of bangles so that you can wear them separately or combine them if you want to. And it also has the one that has a loop on it. So if you wanted to change out those chains that are on there and put something different dangling from that, you can do that too. But I love this one. I love nice wide kind of hammered look on the VRS 11. And let's see here. I'm going to also take away 12, which are these wavy, what is that, sine, cosine? What is that wave? I don't know what they call that. But these wavy bangles. You get that set for $10 if you're interested in that. VRS 12. And let me move 14 and 16 down. All right, this is some vintage check in this beautiful green color. We had these at $6. I'll bring them down to $5. And I think, let me see how many of these we've got in here. We have a number of these in here. 1, 2, 3. We've got 5 of them in here. That's a really good price for that size of a vintage check strand. This strand is a little over 12-inch strand, probably 13-inch strand. And these are about 5.7 millimeter beads. Really pretty color, especially if you're starting to think into Christmas colors, kind of holly, kind of nice green colors. And that's only $5 a strand, VRS 17. And I've got 5 strands available. Drink time. Okay. Whoa, that is not. My headache's starting to get to me. VRS. I'm writing numbers instead of letters. Okay. Same tension headache keeps wanting to come back. These are individual. I think they're a type of jasper. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But they're really pretty. This gray and brown kind of color. And they're nice little ovals. They are about 18.5 by 24.5. And we're pricing them at $1 each. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 of them available at $1 each. And that's it. Nice color, nice patterns, only $1. They were $1.50. Saving 50 cents each on those ones. These are a crystal rondelle. Faceted. $3 each only. They are about 17.5 millimeters. Beautiful kind of topaz-y color. 2 of them available. $3 each. Crystal faceted rondelle. And next up we've got, I believe these are the dyed quartz. Dyed quartz, we'll make these $2 each, and there are 2 of them available. VRS 20, dyed quartz, faceted rounds, and these are approximately 16 millimeter. $2 a piece, 2 of them available. All right, let me move the onyx off the table. VRS 14 still available, only $18. Move these down. Okay. All right. This is a very good price because this price, it was $42. That was a very good price for what I'm going to show you. I'm bringing them down to 38, one time only, if anybody wants them at this price. And this is a vintage pearl long strand. And these pearls, one of the reasons for the price, one, it's a very long strand. 2, these pearls are very, very similar to each other, which the more similar the pearls are in a strand, the more hand-picked they were, and the more expensive the strand. This is still an exceptional deal for how regular these are to one another. And they're such a beautiful color. This strand is a 32-inch strand of vintage freshwater pearls in this coppery color. Really pretty tones in there, some kind of almost like reds and oranges. Really excellent strand. These pearls are approximately 6 millimeter pearls, and it's only $38 for the entire strand, this time only. This price is not going to stay, but I figured I'd give you all a really nice break on that if you want them. We've just sold both of the VRS 20s. Thank you so much. I'll take those away. All right, now these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They were. Let's see what we can do to these. These were about $28. And I will bring them down to, let's bring them down to $16. $16. Last of these. These are beautiful blue moonstone faceted rondelles. Very nice quality. Beautiful beads. Nice flash in these. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them for $16. They used to be, where'd I put the bag now? $2.50 each. We used to sell them for $2.50 each. They're now $1.45 each. So much less. $16 for the whole lot. Beautiful high grade blue moonstone faceted rondelles. They are graduated. They come from a graduated strand, so there's a little bit of different sizes in there. VRS 22. And let me put the blue chalcedony away. That is still available. VRS 16. Beautiful strand. And I'm also going to put 17s away. These are the vintage check. Long strands, only $5 a strand. VRS 17. Move these down. 18 still available. 19, these beautiful crystal beads. 21, the pearls. And 22, the blue moonstone faceted rondelles. These were $6 for the pair. I'm going to do them for $5 for the pair. These are a snakeskin agate. Look at that. Such pretty glowy color to those. And these are smooth rounds at about 18 millimeters. 18 to 18 and a half. And you get both of them for $5. It's $2.50 each. They were $3 each. I think they were originally $3.50 each, but we're only down to 2 of them. So just marking them down, hopefully moving them to somebody who will use them. Lena says pretty. They are pretty, right? I think so. VRS 24. This used to be $5 each. I'm going to put it at 3. We've only got one left. Is this dyed chalcedony faceted rondelle. Really pretty color. We had some stones of dyed chalcedony, I think, yesterday in yesterday's show. That would probably go well with. I think. Yeah, so this was LGS 76 from yesterday. and those could go really well together. They were $2.50 each for those. This is $3 for this one today. And we had a number of those yesterday. The LGS 76 Chalcedony. Boy, that was wild that I was able to pull that right out. Look at me being organized. All right. Doesn't happen all that often, y'all. VRS 23 has sold. Thank you so much. Oh, VRS 23 tried to sell again. It's like the same things are selling over and over again today. That's the story. I only have one of everything pretty much. Well, a lot of these. And the same things keep trying to sell. I'm like, I wish I had more for y'all. Because I like to make the sales, but yeah. It's been the story of today. I've seen a lot of the same things. 4 sold twice, 6 sold twice. Although I think I did have 2 of 6. 23 now tried to sell twice. VRS 25. This is a cute little, I'm going to price it nice for y'all. Normally something like this goes for $5 these days. But this is a cute little check glass strand. Kind of with the Picasso. Not quite a pinch bead, but it's shaped like the 3-sided beads. I wouldn't quite call that pinch because they don't come to a point like pinch beads do generally. But it's a table cut round originally, cut into 3 pieces like that vintage one we had earlier. And this strand is a 5-inch strand. And again, it would go really well with bone, wood, that kind of coloring, those kind of beads. And it's VRS 25, and it's only $3 for the strand. Normally something like this these days you get, it's like a $5 strand. It's wild. VRS 24 has just sold. Thank you so much. Take that one off the table. I think we're getting down to where we're going to do beauty spacers. I've got a number of different beauty spacers I'm going to show you. I want to show you these first, just to, I think I have 4 strands of these. And we're going to price them real good at $4 a strand, 4 strands only. And it's these little leaves, vintage check, like the opaque white with a gold wash. And these are about 8 millimeters by 10. 8 by 10 millimeters. And we just sold both of the 19s. Thank you so much. I'm going to put those away. Right, again, these leaves, these are vintage check glass. These are approximately 6.5-inch strands. And I've got 4 strands available at only $4 each. Talk about, we're starting to get into winter white, right? Winter colors, and that's a perfect kind of winter white color right there. Go great with like the moonstone. That's a good winter stone. I feel like that glowing icy look. VRS 27. I've got these big ones here. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3. I have 5 of these. Normally we do these large ones at around $6. I'm going to do these at $4, $5. These are a strawberry quartz, but these are a man-made strawberry quartz. But they're really cool. And they have lots of beautiful patterns to them. Whoop. These are really pretty. And there are 5 of them available, top drilled, and they are about 40 millimeters by 30.5. Super pretty. 5 of them available, $4 each. All right, let me clean up the table a little bit before we get into the beauty spacers, because they're going to take up a little bit of space. Let's see here, 18, 21, let's put that away. This is this large pearl strand, nearly perfect little pearls, $38 for the whole strand, 32-inch strand, almost $1 an inch, just a little over. I'm going to put the moonstones away as well. There's a bag for those. Let's use this one. No, let's use this one. This is what they were. Beautiful moonstone, faceted rondelles, $16 for the whole bunch. And where was this? This is 22. Put it back in order. All right. 25 still available. 26 is still available. 27 is still available. Let's move these over even further. Make room for some beauties. I'm not going to leave all these out. I'm just going to leave that one out. Make it easy on myself over here. We sold 2 of the 18s. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's the Jaspers. $1 each. We still have a bunch of those available. 12 of those still available. And let's see here. Where are we at? VRS 28. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these available. Our pewdies are always $3 a tube, and I think that's a really fair price. So we're going to keep that price. It's just a chance to offer them all to you. They're usually $3 to $3.50, depending on what they are. This one, you're going to have to watch kind of closely on these so that you catch what they look like. Are these little balled up stars? And when you use them in things, you would see this side of things, right? You'd see that peeking out between your beads, unless you hung them this way. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, when Susan made some of her earrings, is it in the pictures I took? No. I think, though, you had used some of these spacers like at the bottom, like this, too. Kind of at the bottom, like at this one, maybe. But I don't think I grabbed the pictures of the one. I think you did some of them that they were hanging more like that. So you can do that as well. But these spacers are generally about 8.5 millimeters. And thickness-wise, They are about just about 2 millimeters. And you get the whole tube of them for $3. Susan says they're somewhat similar. Yeah, just, you know, I know they're not the same shape, but different ways that you can use them. Like you can suspend them and use them in earrings like that instead of putting them in between beads. They can kind of sit on their own as well. So that's VRS28. I don't know if people are going to be interested in spacers or not. It's been a little while since we did them, but we'll see. Suzanne says, would you use pewties as spacers with glass pearls? I don't see why you couldn't, though you would want to probably test that to see if they would mark up the pearls. Some glass pearls have more robust coatings than others. The ones that we try to sell aren't the ones that are gonna, you know, like come apart as easily on you. We have sometimes brought in glass pearls that by the time they even just get to us, they're all scratched up and marked up. But a lot of times with pearls, I tend to default to using glass on glass, so like a glass spacer or a seed bead spacer when I'm working with them. But you know, it all depends. I'm not going to say you shouldn't, but I would recommend that you check to make sure your pearls are going to be okay. Take a tester one and kind of rub them together a little bit if you can. And there's not a ton of movement. And once they're up against the spacer, like you're probably never going to notice that it's happening unless the coating is inferior and it does start to fleck off, and then you will start to notice because it will continue to fleck off of the beads. So that's what I would say, and that's what I generally recommend anytime we use them in the store and somebody wants to use metal on the glass pearls. Most of the time I have not had a problem. But you know, it's one of those things. You want to make sure that the coating on the pearls is a nice coating, isn't a, you know, a weaker, older style of coating. Each is your mileage will vary is pretty much what I'm saying. Unfortunately, there's not an easy answer to that. But if you can sacrifice one to kind of rub it together to make sure, that's always, you know, the best thing. All right, this is VRS 29. There's only one tube of these left. We did sell one of the 28s. Thank you so much. One tube of these left. These are a little bit thicker, chunkier. This is the end you would see unless you suspended it in some way, which you could do with a head pin going up or chain in a particular way. But these ones are approximately 8 millimeters by 4. 8 by 4 millimeters. And 29 has just sold out. Thank you so much. And we also just sold 25. Thank you so much. So I'll put that away as well. What's this little one? Find a little baggie for that. Lettuce says, I feel like anything with a coating does better on earrings or necklaces rather than bracelets, which take a real beating getting hit on things. Yes, that is true too. That is true too. Okay, VRS 30. VRS 30, I have 3 of these available. These are going to be $3 each as well. And these are some just nice round gold colored beauty spacers. Suzanne's getting ready to head to teach. Have a good night, everyone. And says, Lennis, agree with you. Have a great night, Suzanne. Have a good teaching session, too. These are about, if I can grab it, about 5.5 millimeter golden colored round spacers. $3 for the tube. We've got 3 of those tubes available. Just a simple gold color, but very nice. Very nice to use. I use that particular. That's probably why we're down to 3. I use those a lot in my stuff recently. These are also very popular. We sold a bunch of these last time we had them. I only have 2 left. These are a gold-colored cube, a faceted cube, or rounded cube. I'll show you. So these are like, they're a cube, but the edges have been rounded off. And these ones are about 3.5 millimeter cubes. And there's only 2 of these remaining. And this is probably one of the last times I will be showing these beauty spacers on the show, because I am really missing these in the store. So they will be heading with me to the store this week when I go up, because we haven't had our spacers, our beauty spacers, in the store since we reopened, and kind of lost track of them. And then we found them, did a show on them, and so once these run through this week, we will not be probably showing them for quite some time again. Soon as it's time to serve the feline overlords. Be right back. All right, get them fed up. VRS 32. We've got 4 of these ones available. These are kind of the same concept. But larger and in silver. And these ones are corner drilled. So these are cubes. They're more cubey than the other ones, but they're corner drilled, so they sit like this in your designs. And let me try and get a measurement. Since they're corner drilled, it's even harder because they sit a different way. They sit end to end like this. And I gotta try and measure them like that. About 6.5 millimeters. And I've only got 4 of these available, and 4 tubes of those. $3 a tube only. Kim says, so late, but I made it. Hello, Kim. Thank you for joining us today. Hope you're doing well. Good, good, good. Everybody's good, I hope. VRS 33. We're in the spacers, beauty spacers we're going over right now. And I was just saying how once I show these, I probably won't show them on the live again for quite some time because they're going up to the store. I've been missing them at the store, and I need to take them back up there. These are kind of cool. I like these a lot. $3 a tube, 4 tubes available of these little beans. They look like beans to me. And you can see the hole goes through the center. So these are great to add to earrings or make drops out of because the hole goes up and down like that. And so you can kind of position these. It's hard, my hands are big, but you can kind of position these like this and do some funky drops from earrings and stuff like that on them. So you get the beans, VRS 33, and we have 4 tubes of those available, only $3 a tube. I'm going to put these flowers away, the 31s. We did sell one of these at least, or the 26s, I'm sorry. We did sell one of these, at least one, so thank you so much. Kim says, doing good. Oh, good. And just going to remind everybody right now again that we're going to have our creative make-along this Friday on Zoom. So do feel free to join us. Make sure your Zoom clients are all updated before then because it has a tendency to want to update as soon as you use it. So get your Zoom ready, and I hope you'll hang out with us and make some stuff. Or if you don't want to make stuff, you can just come in for chat or organize your bead room. You know, whatever you want to do. Just hang out with us and get to know the AG Bead fam, get to know more people. VRS. We've sold another 32 and we've sold a 33. Thank you so much. Those are starting to dwindle a little bit. Okay. This is VRS 34. There's only 2 of these available. Susan's back. Everybody get fed up. Get the feeding frenzy, right? Okay, these I have to be careful because these are small. These are small, itty bitty, little floral spacers. So these are ones that are kind of great in between like those micro-faceted stones. So a lot of you have been purchasing some micro-faceted stuff from us, and these would probably be a very good size to put in between some of those. Like these are 4mm. And remember, all you're seeing in between the stones is that. So imagine those with some microfaceted like spinel or peridot. It'd be really pretty. And let's put those back. There's only 2 bottles of those, 2 tubes of those in 34. Oh, we sold another 32. Thank you so much. So 1, 2, 3 of the 32s. I've only got 1 of the corner drilled squares left. We've just sold another 33, so I've only got 2 of the beans left. And we still have 34s available. I don't think people have caught up to that yet. I'm going to put 28 away. $28 are the larger silver floral spacers. And let's see, we're going to move 30 over, 31 over. And I'm going to put the rounds away too. This is 30. And we have 2 of these available still. 2 of those available. Those are some of my favorites. They're kind of a basic round, but it's one of those really easily used shapes. All right. I don't know if leaving these up here actually helps because it's hard to see what's in the tubes anyway. But VRS VRS35, M135, right? Yeah. And this we ran out of and got more. So we have these VRS35, 8 tubes available. There are these little conical beads to use as spacers. They're really fun. They're a really popular design. They are about 4 millimeters by 6. And I've got 8 tubes of those now. $3 a tube. I actually have to restock those in the online store because I know I had them and I was out of them. Okay. This is, you know what, let me do one of these first. Oh, I like these ones. These little dimpled rounds. I love these dimpled rounds. There's only 3 of these available. These are these little dimpled, kind of melon-like rounds. They're very hard to show, but hopefully you can see that, what they look like. And they're also very hard to measure because they're tiny. They're about 3.5 millimeters. Another great one to go with some of your microfaceted or the smaller, like 4 millimeter gemstones that a lot of you have been picking up lately. If you want to add some spacers in between those. Oops, see, one stuck to my hand. They're tricky. Tricky they are. Okay, I'm going to put, these are the rounded squares, 31. I think we still have one, yeah, it looks like 1 tube of those left, the rounded squares. That's a super popular design. I'm going to try and get more of that one too, because it gives a really nice glimmer in between beads. 32s. I think we just have one of these left. That's the corner drilled squares in the silver brushed look. Put those away. And then this one's going to be a little bit more because this is a bigger tube and they are actually, well, you'll see. There's only one of these though. One of these tubes available. This is $8. And let me get the cap off if I can without dumping them everywhere. These are actually bead caps. So you're getting the whole tube of these bead caps in gold with this kind of swirly finish. And overall, these are about 10 millimeters by 7. And the opening underneath here is about 6 to 6.5 millimeters. And you get a whole tube. I don't know how many are in the tube. Let's see here if I can tell or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21 or 22 of them, it looks like, in there. So you get the whole tube of those. $8, just one tube available. We've got 6 of these available. These are some of my favorites too. I like the geometric ones. If you haven't noticed me talking about my favorites, they're oftentimes the more geometric. This is 38, and these are a silver cube, but it's like a pointy cube. And these are, let me see if I can get one on the right edge, because you got to catch them this way, because that's the real width. About 5.5 millimeters. About 5.5 millimeters. And these are also ones that are like, these are great for an earrings, because if you're wearing them near hair, they catch the light. So I always try when I'm thinking about earrings and helping people design with earrings, I always ask if the person has long hair or not, because if they have long hair, sometimes you want a little bit of something in there to be able to catch the light and help the earring stand out. And so things like this that have these little geometric facets and edges oftentimes help with that. So there's 6 of these available, $3 each. All right, I'm going to put the beans away. I affectionately call them the beans. Who doesn't? Mr. Bean? I love Mr. Bean. All right, so that's what that reminds me of, Mr. Bean. VRS 33. Put that away. Somebody just grabbed 37, so that tube has sold. I'm going to put that away. Thank you so much. That'll give me room for the last 2, and then we'll be done. I hope you're all liking these. Sometimes it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but I actually really like pewdies, and I like going through them. We're going to do some, since we're getting into spooky season. I've got a bunch of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I've got 16 of these skulls. These are skulls. And they look like this. And they are drilled top to bottom. So they would go in line on things like this. If you're making a bracelet, you'd have all those kind of skulls looking like that. But they're really great for like earrings. And you can hang them. And they have a nice look all around. And so those are $3 a tube. And there are 16 tubes of those skulls available, stocked up on those for spooky season. And VRS 40. technically have 3 of these. One of the tubes broke, so it's just loose in here. But I do have 3 tubes worth in here, and these are silver skulls. These are also large hole. So these ones look like this, and look at that really large hole, which is really nice if you're working on leather or other materials. This is about 3.5 millimeter hole. Overall, the bead is about 5.7 millimeters, and we have 3 tubes of those skulls available at $3 each. All right, friends, that is the show for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to get myself ready to go. I've got about 15 minutes or so to get myself ready to head to my pottery class. And I will do the spreadsheeting and invoicing when I get back tonight. So you won't get your invoices out tonight. Please also, I want to mention, please check your emails. I have a number of people who have a few outstanding invoices, some of them from some time ago, and we'd like to try to get some of those cleaned up and get some of those in and paid. We're not a business that can extend things like that for too long. We do like to work with people as best as we can, but we also feel the crunch when that happens. So if you have some invoices that are outstanding and you've not talked with us, or you're having some issues, please do communicate with us, and we can work on things. Otherwise, if you can get those taken care of, that would be great too. We appreciate all of your support, and like I said, we're always willing to work with people, and I don't even like to mention that stuff, but we are starting to get a little backlog of some things that are outstanding, and I just like to mention that so that if people aren't getting emails for some reason, they can check their spam, or if you haven't talked with us about it, we can talk about it and see where things stand. All right. Thank you all so much for a great event today. I appreciate you all hanging out with me, and please send Andrew the good vibes for his feeling better soon, and we will talk to you again tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a great one, everyone. Bye now.